live. Hi, everybody. Yeah, you got to say hi, Alice.
Oh, hi.
Yeah.
You exist, remember?
Yeah, this is a weird, different podcast.
Yeah, well, you probably got two questions. One, is there spoilers? Yes, there is going to be spoilers from the start to the finish. So, if you haven't seen the film, make sure you don't listen to this until you have.
And why haven't
And the
you seen
second
the film?
one is why we're doing the podcast. Well, because we can't set it up like we did last time.
Yeah, and third, we want to welcome back Alice.
Yeah.
Hi.
This is Alice.
How's it going?
Remember her from like 2 years ago?
Yeah, I've changed.
I don't even remember.
I'm now
her,
just a
so-
voice.
Yeah.
I don't have a face anymore.
So
Hopefully, by the next episode 9, we'll be able to do what we did last time. But
Oh,
unfortunately,
yeah, we're not doing solo then.
Oh yeah, we intended on doing Rogue One as well.
Oh, yeah, we
fucking
did Rogue
fell
One.
flat.
We're just doing the
That's
trilogy.
pretty much the best one, and we didn't really do it.
Well, we all agreed with it, so it was like, it was good.
It was
Yeah,
good.
it was
There
great.
you go.
There you go.
There you go.
That's
Right,
that
okay.
one.
So
What's the
anyway,
next one?
yeah, Star Wars Episode 8: The Last Jedi. I've seen it twice. You've both seen it once.
I'm going to go see it another 2 times.
Yeah,
I've
I'm
already
gonna
been
go see it
invited.
again.
I'm going
Yeah.
to say it again.
Yeah.
Well,
I think maybe the second time round you.
I think,
notice
the
things.
second time round I'll probably feel a little bit better about
Yeah.
it.
Because
Okay,
I'm
so-
worried. I think I might hate it. Not hate it, but dislike it more. Because now I
So
don't...
are you on the fence?
Not on the fence, but I'm one of those... There were so many shocks and surprises and, like... Then again, I'm easily surprised with that film. The 2 ships that first came, it was like, oh my god, that's massive. Then about 10
Yeah.
minutes later, oh my god, look at the smoke ship. Now that I know all the surprises and stuff, I was like, will it still have that same element of
Well, no,
excitement?
nothing ever has the same
I
surprise
think
when
you'll
you
just
see it the first time.
more.
Possibly.
It's layered. Films are layered, so you're going to see things you didn't see before and
Yeah.
analyse it a bit more. I think
Like-
because I did, and yeah, there are problems with it, but I still think it's probably the best.
I only have 2 problems
Yeah.
with it, but I'll get to that one.
All right, well, so we go into positives first then.
Well,
Yeah.
just a positive that's nothing to do with the story. I found out yesterday, I think. You know, we always have celebrity extras and stuff.
Yeah.
Adrian Emerson was one.
Yeah.
I didn't know, yeah. I didn't know that.
It's like the fucking...
Who was he? Oh, no, well, he was an Imperial lieutenant thing.
I don't know. I don't know.
There's a picture with him and Mark Hamill.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
He was like in the opening fucking...
Oh, yeah.
I didn't see.
I'm looking
I
for
wasn't
that next
looking
time.
for
Because
him.
literally
so-
it happened and my dad went, is that Aid Edmondson? And Rob that was with him went, nah. And I went, yeah, that's fucking Aid Edmondson, that is.
Yeah, that was so cool.
Because I knew that the Harry and Will were
Yeah, they were
it,
stormtroopers.
Yes.
I've got a funny feeling that they may have been the executioners.
Yeah, I think they were.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I knew that Gary Barlow was in it as well as a stormtrooper.
Oh, yeah, but I don't care.
Okay.
Captain
He's
Monotone.
boring. He's boring.
Mm.
Yeah, he's fucking boring.
Perfect stormtrooper then.
And there was some other people in it as well. I can't remember.
Yeah, I
but
can't remember.
Yeah.
there's quite a few.
But yeah, I didn't know about Aid till this Mark Hamill put a picture with of him and Aid up on his Twitter account.
Is it like the Black Imperial
Yeah,
first
like,
Yeah.
like the first one that you see.
I didn't realise
At
it
the
was him.
start.
Okay.
He's that old now and he's got a little bit of hair. I'll be looking for Eddie.
I was so
Yeah.
invested in
He's
like
a
glued
bit-
in on Star Wars. I didn't think I was going to see Eddie from Bottom.
Yeah, I agree. But right, we won't go through the title credits thing because yes, I read it, but I couldn't tell you what it said now.
Yeah, I can.
It's something about a battle escape.
battleships.
Yeah, well, it was one of them that weren't really needed.
I was kind of still a bit sort of.
yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
So honestly, as soon as you hear the you're like,
Yeah.
I looked over to my guitarist Reese as soon as it came up, and he was just sat there like.
Oh, I'm the same about that. But the thing
yeah,
is,
like there's a couple of times you and me were looking at each other and everything.
they obviously needed to do the text crawl because that's what Star Wars does.
Yeah.
But the fact that this went from the end of 7 into 8, it was like, well, nothing's changed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's barely any. This is like the first time where it's gone from one film to the other, and there's like literally a few hours.
The opening
difference.
text was like
Yeah.
a recap and kind of going, oh, yeah, First Order about to...
I think that's why it was
difficult.
difficult to do that opening text crawl because not a lot has happened in between.
Yeah.
Each
Yeah.
film that we've seen in either a year or a couple of years happened between the two.
Yeah, this was just...
Couple of hours.
Yeah.
But this is what they've done in the time they made a brew.
Yeah, it was,
Hey, I want some food.
it was everything that
Oh
happened...
yeah, and the First Order are coming.
It was everything that happened with the Resistance and the First Order while Rey was climbing that mountain to go and see Luke.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got an hour or two to fill in with text crawl. So
That's how long it took her to climb the fucking
yeah,
mountain.
we had to fly there as well.
It's like you land at the bottom, land at the top. I mean,
And Luke would have seen a ship coming.
I know, right?
So yeah, he didn't even bother to help. But,
right, okay. So positives then. So we'll go with ladies first. What did you like about it? What was like your favourite bits?
Come back to me.
Oh, all right, okay.
I'll come back to the
That's how
negatives.
they
So it was a little
What
bit.
was your positives then, Josh?
It was more humorous. Well, right. I know I'm kind of the only thing I've ever been on the fence about with Star Wars is that I don't hate or like Jar Jar. All right.
I fucking hate him.
Yeah, but
You're the only,
I think
you're the only person in
bandwagon
history
with
that likes him. That's a man.
I don't dislike him, but I don't like him. So he's one of them where it's like I'll just ignore him in Phantom Menace. So.
You can't ignore
Yeah, of course
him.
you can.
You can't. He's so loud and obnoxious.
He's just like, get that scene out of the way and carry on. But it was a little bit more humorous than I thought it was going to be, and proved that it didn't need Jar Jar. And I don't like 3PO. He's an annoying character. I know he's meant to be, but don't get me wrong, I'd be upset if he weren't involved in it because he's a cornerstone.
Yeah, it has to be.
But it's like, right, they're not going with the 3PO humour either. They just had funny stuff going on. So they had the whole I'll hold at the start.
The paws were quite funny.
The paws, yeah.
Yeah.
Even Leo, without looking at 3PO, like, get that fucking concerned look off your face.
Yeah.
Is that why he's a droid?
This is my face.
Yeah. And then Luke just chucking the lights over his shoulder. Like
That was funny.
Yeah,
That was
I didn't expect that.
No, I mean,
Honestly,
That's,
I
I
thought
think
it
that's
was
why
funny.
they did it, because
Yeah.
everyone was speculating about what he was
He was
going
going
to
to
do.
say and stuff.
And so I think that's why they were like, no, fuck it, he'll just chuck
Throw it
it
over.
Throw it over.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
just solid, screw it. And I think most of it was positive for me, so it would be easier to go with the negatives.
All right, we'll just go through what your favourite bits were then. We'll get to the negatives. Don't worry, we've got plenty of time for it.
Favourite bits.
Okay, I've got a favourite bit.
Yeah, all right.
When Rey and Kylo kind of had like their face off, and then they both turned.
On each other.
No, yeah,
Oh.
so they had like their face off, and then they kind of like became one team.
Oh, right, yeah, that
I
was
like,
cool.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah,
cool.
it was pretty
Yeah.
cool. Even when she grabbed Kylo's lightsaber so briefly as well.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's cool.
I just thought it was really awesome. Right, to be fair, I was like,
Yeah, well,
yeah.
I suppose what stood out to me, the space battles were really good. So
Yeah.
they had like two in the matter of the first half hour.
Yeah,
That's when those big ships.
See
appeared.
that's good for me. That was good, but I was like, I think if they, I felt like there was too many. I was like, if there was too many and they were a little too long. I think if they were a little shorter, they could have.
Well, the first one was to establish Poe as a badass.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And he is pretty
He
much
got
the
a lot
best
more to
pilot
do-
in the galaxy.
Yeah, he got a lot more to do in this film as well. I mean, he was quite prominent in the last one, but he was a lot more fleshed out in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of developed his character,
Especially with the relationship with Leia that he's got. It kind of basically means
Yeah.
that he's going to take over from Leia. Obviously, now we know because obviously Carrie's dead.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, see, that was I'm going to go with the negatives again, but I'll stick with the positives. It just seemed like we spoke about this when we left. The Force Awakens, I pretty much said quite quickly that very similar to A New Hope. With this one, it did seem similar to the other stories in the original trilogy, but it seemed like a mixture of all three, which is okay. That's all right.
to me, I felt like it standed perfectly by itself.
Well, it seemed
It didn't. It had like little moments where I thought, oh, that's similar to that, or that's similar to this. But the actual film and the structure and the way they did things, it stood on its own.
The only way I could probably see it being a little bit like Empire is like, obviously, at the start of Empire, you got the Attack Walkers and Hoth. Right, it just put it at the end with not Hoth, but had that white element thing going on.
Yeah.
And then throughout the whole of Empire, obviously, the Falcon's getting chased by Star Destroyers while Luke's getting trained. The First Order chasing the Resistance while Rey's getting trained.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
And instead of the Cloud City thing, they just threw
But
Finn
I
and Rose
think-
on the
I
casino
think
planet.
They're doing that to nod for us to the original trilogy, but
Yeah.
to make the new generation that are coming into Star Wars.
Appreciate it a little
Yeah.
more. Yeah, it was different enough.
Yeah. It's
then
always
they
going to
can-
be difficult.
Yeah.
It was always
Because
going to be difficult.
If someone, like a 13-year-old, 12-year-old, whatever, was to watch this, and then their parents said, watch A New Hope,
Yeah.
whatever, they'll probably go, that's like...
Yeah.
It swings and roundabouts. It's kind of...
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with it. I mean, I'm the kind of person that's like, we're in this universe where we're getting Star Wars again.
So,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
shit's bad, whatever.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's just like, it could be so much worse. You know what I mean? That's what I think.
Yeah,
It could be
it
so
could be
much worse. And this is why I'm so happy that we're in this generation where we're actually getting this again. And yeah, I know it's Disney and everything, I get that, but I can't see another company taking it on and actually making it decent.
But
Really.
even though they referenced it a bit better than they did Empire, and I've Richie just thought of this. I always say, and Family Guy picked up on it as well, in Empire, where Luke goes into that cave
Yeah.
and bumps into Vader, it turns out it's him, it's all like a Force vision.
It's not
They,
something
yeah, kind of did stop the film dead for me, like Family Guy say. But in this one, where they hadn't referenced the Kavan Empire, they referenced that hole at the bottom of the island, which Rey went down, and it just seemed pointless scene.
There was some things in this film which I thought, why the hell did you need that?
Yeah.
It's not developed to the story in any way. It's not giving us any more information. It's just kind of like, oh, they've put it in there.
But the Rey reflection thing, it's just like, well, why did you do that?
Yeah, it's kind of like, we don't need to see her with loads of people.
See, I think the only reason that they used that was a way of them kind of starting to build a relationship with Kylo Ren, because obviously she was talking to him about it.
Yeah,
But
true.
you know,
But it's not. That's not like a new thing. That Force connection.
No, but obviously it's Snoke that was doing it, wasn't it? He was the one that was bridging the gap between them, because obviously they can't do it themselves.
Yeah.
See, that's another thing.
See, I was going to say, probably one of my favourite bits was seeing Yoda.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
So happy.
Because obviously he was going with that torch to burn the tree. I was like, okay. This
You just saw this ear.
Yeah.
You just saw this ear.
And so I went, I was like, oh my god! And they went with the proper practical effect looking Yoda rather than CGI, which I was so happy with.
I leant over to Chris and I goes, who's doing the voice? And he's like, I don't know, because I seem to think that Frank Oz was dead.
No, he's still alive.
No, he's still alive.
Yeah,
And I was like,
yeah,
what's the
yeah.
hell? And my dad was like, well, it'd be news if Frank Oz was dead.
Yeah, he's a Muppet as well.
I really love the fact that they brought him into it.
Yeah, I did think, because he'd seen Yoda and then he looked like he was going to go into the temple anyway, but the way they shot it, I was thinking, right, is the ghost of Ben Kenobi going to appear now? Obviously, it'd have to be Ewan, not Alec. Unless they went CGI.
That would have been quite... I still would have marked
but
out.
Yoda
I would have marked out, but I would have gone, The only problem is I want Alan Guinness.
Yeah.
Because otherwise continuity ain't right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Unless, of course, you can...
Bring him back.
Age, they did it with Tarkin.
I was about to say, if you push him, they nailed.
Yeah, they
so
did
they might
that.
have to
So
do it
there's
that
no reason they can't, but if they were going to, it'd have to be like that.
Well, Alec Guinness hated Star Wars, so
Yeah,
he probably
he
didn't want to be
did.
part of it.
Well, at the end
no
of the
more.
day, when you're a serious actor, like he is doing Bridge on the River Kwai and shit, and you get the script for Star Wars, of course, in that day and age, it looks fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Especially to a 60-year-old man, it looks ridiculous.
Mark Hamill didn't even like the first script. He said about it on the Grant Norton show. It's just like... Because they were talking about the whole secret of like Vader, your father, spoiler alert, thing. And he said, like, well, when the first script came through, no one cared. I mean, not only the fact there was no internet.
Now. Again, one of the reasons why we're doing this podcast is everybody cares and speculates, and we love it so much. Back when it first started, of course nobody cared.
Yeah.
Because nobody knew what it really was. They didn't know what it could be and what it could turn into.
What was it
This
like?
is what I said. I said to my dad, I was like, how was the reaction? Because I was really interested. And I said, how was the reaction when... You're in the cinema when you were watching Empire. How was everyone's reaction when Vader said, no, I am your father? And he was like, the place just erupted. And I says, well, it's different then because they didn't have social media.
No.
Yeah.
There was no way for any spoilers or anything to come out. So
You'd either have to keep your mouth shut or go and tell everybody.
Yeah.
Right?
It was just so much different back then.
Yeah. I'm envious of that.
I'm kind of envious of it as well. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do love doing my channel and everything, speculating and figuring stuff out.
But you're also a fan.
But you also don't want to know stuff. It's the same thing as when we watch pay-per-views. We don't want things ruined before we see it. Because when it happens, just like, well, it's shit. Because we know what's happening.
This is like what I've said to you earlier, like, you watch Raw, you're like, no, I'm like, watch it. It's a good episode. It would have been the same if, for God knows whatever reason, if we were back in that 80s era, I saw Empire before you. I'll be like, dude, go into the Empire now.
Don't understand.
Don't go to work.
Just go see it now because I don't know how the work keep this in.
Yeah.
Seriously, I'm going to explode.
Yeah. But yeah, Mark Hamill's like 21 when he did New Hope.
Yeah.
And he just was passing the script around with his mates. This is the goofiest thing I've ever read. He passed it. He's like, can I go show this to Mary? Yeah, I'm going to show it to Mary. Yeah.
What did we think about the whole Snoke thing? Because that I didn't expect.
I'm hoping they escalate on it.
Didn't expect, but I hope there's more to it.
Because one of the biggest things that everybody been rumouring around for ages is, who is this guy? Why has he got such an influence over Kylo Ren? How has he been able to build this First Order? What the hell is this person?
Yeah.
And then he's just killed. And everyone, it was a shocker. I didn't think it would happen. I thought he'd get out of it. Like, you see the lightsaber turning. I was like, well, he's clearly clever enough. And he wasn't. He wasn't clever enough, but I want to know who he is, because they even... I think JJ mentioned he's been around since the Clone Wars. So it makes it seem like he's a relevant character.
It wouldn't surprise me if... well, you know, like in Attack of the Clones, even though the audience knew, everyone thought Dooku, Tyrannus, whatever, was the main Sith behind all of this. And then it turned out at the end, even though we already knew that, he's following orders of Sidious.
Yeah.
What if Snoke had his own master? So there's something other character we don't know about.
The only problem
Which
with
could
that
be
is
Rey's parents.
I suppose I don't mind it, but the problem
absolutely.
is, if that character reveals itself in episode 9, you've had no build-up whatsoever.
Unless it's a character we've already met.
Yeah, I suppose.
Like, what's her face? Maz. Is it Maz?
Oh, yeah, Maz.
Yeah, I doubt it's her, but I did think, it's like, right, I get why you threw her in there, but it was kind of another kind of, like, pointless scene. Like, yeah, just give her that.
It's just the
Mascanada and the whole casino thing with fucking horses, I thought that was great.
Right, okay, well, let's get on to the negatives then, because, that was my main two negatives, it was that whole casino thing. Don't get me wrong, I think some of the practical effects, CGI and the characters and the casino thing, it was fun, it looked kind of cool, but it just kind of took me out of the film a little bit. It was like a little side mission.
Yeah. I think, as well, it was the whole Finn and Rose.
Yeah.
Yeah. I won't buy the romantic thing until Rose kissed him at the end, where I still didn't buy it, but I was like, alright,
I still don't, because then he saw Rey and then it was all forgotten about.
Yeah, but I don't think that Finn has the same feeling towards Rose as Rose does to him, and I think that's going to become a problem. Because you can tell straight away the second that Rey and Finn see each other at the end of the film, they're so happy to see each other.
But like I said, it wouldn't surprise me.
He's just caring for Rose. He's a good man. He's a good person.
You said, right, this is first. Poe approached Rey because that's the first time they'd actually met. I kind of saw a little bit of chemistry between them at the end.
Yeah, maybe.
So, at the end where he cared about her running over to see if she was alive.
Yeah, so I was thinking, it wouldn't surprise me if everyone's expecting this romantic thing between Finn and Rey. What if they went the opposite? It's like, no, those two are going to remain friends. Finn's going to go off with Rose, Rey's going to end up with Poe. Wouldn't surprise me.
No.
Just to kind of double bluff us a little bit. Because that's what Star Wars does, it surprises us.
I just thought it was one of it pointless.
My other negative was the underuse of Phasma.
Yes, that was mine, yeah.
Because as soon as she came back, I was like, "Oh, this is going to be good."
Jamie!
5 minutes later, she was dead.
Yeah.
The only thing I could, fingers crossed, is that her suit is flame retardant.
No, but she's still
It
dead.
might be. She seems
I'm afraid this is like the thing they do. It's like a fake out.
She just can't die.
Maybe she's dead again. Oh no, she's back! Hey! It's just like can't kill her. It's like, I really hope that's true. I love the quote that he said when she says "you scum," he goes "rebel scum," and then knocked her off. That's fine, but again, I just didn't want her to die.
The only way that would work is if she fell into an escape pod. Because it's not like she fell into a fire on a planet and crawled away.
No.
She was already on an exploding ship.
Yeah, it's true.
So
I can't see her getting out of it, to be honest, but yeah, considering how high she was in the merchandising and the promotional stuff and everything, you'd think she had a bigger role. And she was literally just there to pin them down for a couple of minutes and then get her ass kicked.
My dad's friend said this. He says he thinks the film now, well, Star Wars in itself, is now become more about the franchise and the merchandising and selling of it than the actual story. It's kind of become
partially, yeah.
I would say partially. I wouldn't say completely. To certain points, then yeah, I get that, but it's not got to the point where they're literally putting something in just to sell merchandise like Jar Jar Binks, because that was the reason he was there, for children and merchandise. I would say this kind of did it with the Porgs.
That would probably be it, the Porgs.
But I thought they were adorable.
They were cute and they were quite funny.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I wasn't looking at it going, God, you're annoying the fuck out of me, like Jar Jar was.
Yeah.
From the first line, I was just like, I don't like this character.
Speak
but with the
properly,
Porgs, yeah, it's like...
But my negative with that is they probably only put the Porgs in because without them, would Chewie have even been in it?
Yeah,
because Chewie just seemed like a pointless character.
He literally like bust the door down and a shout at Luke, then flew the Falcon.
Yeah, and R2 had one pivotal scene, which was his reunion with Luke.
But that pivotal scene was needed.
It was needed
because I love that those relationships between the two is great. So when they see each other and he shows her the hologram from A New Hope. And he says it's a cheap move. I was like, I love that.
I thought that was really, really
I thought it was really
good. But this is why...
It was like that Yoda moment. It was a very similar thing. Didn't need a massive role for those characters, but it had a pivotal moment that is a turning point for Luke's decision of what he wants to do.
They didn't really have a super emotional moment in this one. Like there was obviously
I beg to differ, but that's because I'm a woman.
What, when Leia went or when Luke went?
No, when Luke... Not that, when Luke and Leia were together.
I know.
That got me.
My little feminine side came out there. I'm sorry, but I was just sitting there loving that.
Okay, but not like...
I'm just so happy just to see the two of them together.
I shed a couple of tears, I'm not going to lie.
It was amazing.
Well, not like gut-wrenching, not like when we saw Han die.
Yeah, but the thing with the Han thing, it was perfectly built. The second he put his foot on that bridge and shouted Ben, you knew he was going to die. And your heart was doing that the entire time. He was like, they're not going to do this. Please don't do this. Please don't do this. Bang.
But Luke, it just happened.
It kind of happened, but I can't see it going any other way. I didn't want it to die brutally. I wanted that, like they said,
it's not the fact that he died. It's kind of like he became one with the Force. He didn't really die.
Did. Yeah, and again, he can come back as a Force ghost, so it's not like we're not going to see him again. And I think he will.
But that scene was fucking.
I think that's what happened because obviously when Ben died, there was no body. He just disappeared, cloak, and that's pretty much what happened to Luke. His cloak went away with the wind and stuff.
Yeah.
Gone with the wind. I mean, I'm thinking. I remember saying this to you the other day. The only two characters that have been in all 9 films, or will be in all 9 when Episode 9 comes out, is 3PO and R2. They're like, as I said, the cornerstones of it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me if they kill R2 off in 9. Purely as this heroic sacrifice, which would be heartbreaking for every fan of Star Wars,
would be,
because he is the hero droid.
He's not useful anymore.
And I don't mean in the whole shoot he blows up because they can rebuild him. Something where he saves a load of rebels or whatever, and he just floats off into space. But they're trying to get him, and they're struggling, and they just can't. And he just floats away, and they never see him again. He just becomes this cold, like floating bit of junk matter around space.
Just floating bit.
Just a bin. Just floating bin.
Bumps into Luke.
Star Wars Episode 10, the floating bin.
Bumps into Luke's hand as he floats by.
That theory was fucking...
Yeah, it was...
That idea was rubbish, wasn't it? That was how they're going to open Force Awakens with his floating hand with the lightsaber. I was like, who fucking signed off on that? I'm so glad they didn't
That's
do
the point. When, in 7, when they realise that Maz has got Luke's lightsaber... How they get there? That's a story for another time. We still don't know how she got it.
But again, we the 3 main things
she might be the Sith
that
Lord.
we want to know about is that's where the lightsaber come from, who's Snoke, and who are Rey's parents. So let's get on to the Rey's parents thing.
I still don't believe that they're nobodies. I think it's absolutely...
Now, I said this to Josh the other day.
I think they are.
My theory is, I think that is the point. They are no one, she is no one, she's no one special, she's just really good with the Force. There's plenty of other people can be. And I generally think the main focus is Kylo Ren. He's the one that's got the Skywalker blood in him. He's the one that's having such a transitional period. He's changing constantly. I feel like he is the main focal point character, and Rey's the red herring. She's the one to throw you off to make you think that she's important, and she's not.
I wouldn't surprise me if they go with this thing like, I'm agreeing that Rey's parents know, because like Kylo didn't say, they're nobodies. He said, you already know. So say it, kind of thing. Wouldn't surprise me if they go with the story and I was like, the Force needed a saviour. Luke had cut, because they say Luke had cut himself off, so there was no one. And they go like, the Force called out on someone that was purely just a good person, which would explain why the lightsaber called out to Rey and all that. Just someone that wants to do good in the world, who has that, universe, whatever, galaxy, who has that ability and passion and just the power to be able to do this. And they go like, that's sort of another chosen one.
That's what the Force is, kind of.
Yeah. So you're not the chosen one like Anakin, but you're the one we've now chose, which is the same thing.
You're going to kind of help keep the balance. Because I feel like maybe what they're trying to do...
Force saying we need a hero.
I suppose, but they're all about the balance. And there obviously is rumours about this Grey Jedi theory. And obviously that didn't come to fruition in this film, that like Luke or Rey become a Grey Jedi, but what if Kylo Ren becomes that Grey Jedi? He's always straddling between the light and the dark. He's always got that glimmer of hope in him, and Rey's the one that's kind of showing him that. What if she's the one that gets him to hit that exact balance? So he is the balance of the Force. He's got the perfect balance of light and dark inside of him.
What Anakin should have been.
Yeah.
Which would explain his fall to the dark side, but Anakin just fell all the way to the dark, like Kylo has at the minute.
But I feel like he'll still be redeemed, because you can see that there's moments there that...
he's swaying.
Yeah.
He didn't want to kill Rey. He didn't want to kill Leia.
He didn't want to kill Han.
He didn't want to kill Han. He even said he didn't hate him.
Yeah.
So it
just
makes
let
me
the past
feel
die.
like...
That was his main thing of this film, let the past die. Which is why he killed Snoke as well.
Yeah.
See, it wouldn't surprise... I've said that a lot. It wouldn't surprise me. The whole... a bit of a Lion King moment, really. You know, at the end of Lion King, the hyenas turn on the scar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as the First Order know, Rey killed Snoke. Now, General Hux and Ren still don't get along.
If
If they find out that Kylo Ren was the one to kill Snoke, will they kind of be like, well, he's the boss now, or will Hux see it as this perfect opportunity to get the Force Order to, like, kill him? And that's how... Even though it would be a crap way for Kylo to go, because I can see Kylo doing something really bad in 9, but to the point that he's begging for Rey's help, and Rey's like, no. You have everything you've done, all the chances I gave you. You killed your father. He might even kill Leia.
Yeah, we don't know.
I don't know how they're going to... Yeah, I mean...
I was like, if they do, they need to start it with it. They can't...
Yeah, that's what I thought they did in this film.
Maybe even in the title crawl. Like...
But I feel like she's that...
Yeah, I said an emotional moment where she's just passed away, where they get some information, go to General Organa's chambers and tell her, and then just go, and then she's just there and she's passed away in sleep.
You can just see, like, a Poe holding a hand.
The only other character they've done that with is Yoda. Yoda just passed away naturally.
Yeah.
Luke sort of did, but he did it with his own ability.
No, but again, no. Yeah, but the reason is because when he projected himself in front of Kylo Ren all the way across the galaxy,
that was cool as fuck.
So cool. Oh, we'll get to it in a sec. Believe me. Oh, we'll get into it. But the thing is, Kylo said earlier in the film, to project yourself that far would kill you, and that's what happened. He used up all his reserves and all his energy to do that.
Yeah.
So let's get on to that final battle on the
Oh my god.
See.
It was good. I mean, I agree with you. I kind of wanted a couple more lightsaber swings and that kind
of thing.
But
it's explained.
But then it kind of makes sense the fact he's not actually there.
There was no lightsaber battle.
I loved when he fired all the cannons and everything.
And he
just brushed his shoulder off.
He was like,
I fucking loved that.
But see, I remember saying to you as well, like, the first couple of films, New Hope and Empire, in New Hope, he's this lost teenager, bored and don't want to be a farmer, and very just keen to get out of the galaxy. In the Empire, he's just this whiny little bastard that thinks like
he's Ren.
but to the point of
he's like Ren, some kind of emo character. It's like
Luke was that character.
Yeah,
so fucking
Luke's just in this impatient.
Which makes me think that maybe Ren is
more important.
Well, Luke was this impatient teenager that wanted to be a Jedi that badly, but couldn't focus on it because of his friends and stuff.
But that emotions clouded.
Yeah, and which got his ass kicked by Vader in the Empire.
Yeah, well,
and then
at least Rey didn't lose a hand this time.
Yeah,
this is the first sequel film where we have someone lose.
It still might happen in 9, so don't jinx it. And then obviously Return of the Jedi, just a very wise, calm, controlled. This is the first film where he's just total badass. And the first,
I feel like he's given the performance.
Well, he became a badass, but at the start he was just a bitter old man.
Yeah,
if you think that's how Yoda was when he was hidden away in Dagobah.
Yeah, but when
he just didn't want to know, did he?
When that scene with Yoda, I remember saying to you, this first time I can see like teenage Luke is back because Yoda just put him right in his place.
Yeah,
he's like, failure is a lesson.
That's what Yoda does, though. Like, everything that Yoda says makes complete sense.
Because Yoda's just a fucking boss.
Yeah, but Yoda didn't, even though he has to say it in like. A lot to think about you've given me. Never just a straight fucking English answer. Well, he said the obvious. Luke's going, but I failed. It's like, you learn from your failures.
Yeah.
It's not
the biggest teacher.
He's just a wise person that everyone needs to turn to every now and then.
He couldn't say try again, though, because it's do or do not. He couldn't go back on himself. If he went, Luke, just try again. Luke would just do it. You told me
do or do not. Fuck up.
Yeah.
Do or do not.
Yeah. There is no try.
Yeah, so the crate battle.
It was right.
I'm going to let Alice talk.
Yeah, okay.
Go on.
So what was like your favourite bits of that like kind of final scene, really? Obviously you mentioned the Leia Luke thing.
Oh yeah, that literally got me right in the heart. I was right in the feels. Yeah, but I'm a woman.
Yeah, I know. But
emotional.
I got emotional with it.
But I had tears and I turned to Chris, I was like, why am I crying? Why am I crying? That was awesome. And it walks out and there's like fire all the cannons burn, and he's just there.
We knew it wasn't going to die from that.
But we got really annoyed because we're like, why has he got Anakin's lightsaber?
Yeah, I said that.
Why has he got Anakin's lightsaber?
What's going on? Why, have they really fucked up the continuity? What's going on? And then obviously it becomes obvious.
Yeah. We were like, what the hell is going on? And then obviously there's the big spoiler is that he's a hologram.
Yeah.
Force hologram, yeah.
Force hologram. He's not actually there.
So he's projecting what Kylo Ren would see him as.
Because I turned around and went, fucking hell, he's well up for it. He's even had a haircut.
New digs and everything. Yeah. Actually, there's another thing as well. I actually quite like the fact that for the first time ever we got flashbacks in a Star Wars film.
Oh, like
when he was talking about Kylo Ren and everything, turned outside and everything.
Yeah.
Twice we got to further the story. We've never had that before, and it worked.
It
worked very nicely.
That actually benefited the story.
And it really fleshed out the character of Luke and Kylo Ren.
Got more background.
Yeah, got more.
What I liked...
Anyway,
no more Josh!
Yeah, it's my fucking house. I got the Leia thing. It was a cool moment to see them back on screen for one last time.
If you weren't going to get the trio together, you've got to at least have that.
But what I liked more of all of it was just the wink he gave to 3PO. I thought it was so cool, just like Master Luke.
It was kind of like, he kind of winked to say...
How you doing?
He kind of winked to say, trust me, I've got this.
But what
don't you worry.
kind of... I found the battle, before I go to the end of the battle, remember when I said to you, I leant in and said Luke, when it looked like Finn was going to sacrifice himself to stop the laser.
I fully bought into that.
Did.
I thought Finn was gone. I was like, they're actually going to kill a main character off. I generally thought the music, the emotional weight that was carried on, I was like, they're actually going to do this.
Then came Rose, bang.
Chinese kick straight out.
Flag kick to the face.
I said Luke.
He doesn't like you.
I don't like you either.
The reason I said Luke is like, it was such a small target, that turret. It took me back to when Luke put the torpedo down the Death Star. Thinking, if Luke's going to turn up now in his X-Wing and just torpedo the fuck out, I'll like perfect nail it, and boom, I'll be like, but they didn't go that way. But it still worked.
Yeah.
What made it interesting is the last thing Luke actually said was to Kylo, and it was "See you around, kid."
Yeah.
Like, he ain't gone.
No, he's not gone.
If he said "See you around, kid," he'll come back as a spirit.
I think Mark Hamill's got into this point now where he's accepted it and just realised that this is such a big deal, and he actually loves it now.
He's Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, he loves it. He knows who he is, and he loves it.
Yeah.
He realised. I think it's after he started playing, doing the voice of the Joker.
Yeah.
And started going to Comic Cons. He really goes, God, these guys know their shit. Like, everybody loves this stuff.
Yeah.
And he just got himself fully invested in it. Obviously, he got his second win being Luke Skywalker.
His Joker thing is brilliant. It took me a while to find out he was the Joker because he just
didn't sound like
no. But then when you see it, like, he's good at this, and he's done other bits. But as much as he's trying, Daniel Radcliffe's trying to avoid that. He's keeping himself busy with all this stuff. But he's always going to be the Harry Potter kid.
He's always going to be Harry Potter, and likewise.
Doesn't matter what he does.
And it's the same thing with Harrison. He's always going to be Han Solo.
Yeah.
I know he's done a lot of other things, and he's done some great things.
He's Solo in Indiana Jones.
But exactly.
He's Solo.
He does have Indy as well, but regardless of how much Harrison doesn't like Star Wars, he is Han Solo. That's the role that made him. I'm sorry, it is.
Yeah.
Same with Carrie.
Yeah.
She's always going to be
because she's not really done anything since Carrie. She was in Blues Brothers.
She was in Family Guy.
Yeah, she was Peter's boss.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it.
I didn't know that bloody... Her daughter was in it. What's her name?
She was the first one as soon as they went down through onto the planet. I can't remember her name.
I forgot.
She was in Force Awakens as well.
Yeah, and she's also in American Horror Story. Billy Lord.
Right, okay.
Lord.
Yeah, she's in it.
So, alright, I've got one more positive, one more negative. That Lightspeed missile was a genius idea. That was one of the coolest things when she sacrificed... The woman who sacrificed herself anyway turned the shit and put it into Lightspeed to tear through so much shit.
Dude, that moment.
Just the silence and all that.
Silence, the massive white crack.
No sound.
Just
boom.
It was. I mean, honestly, at that point, you're looking at him. You're also looking around at the audience and just realise, holy fuck, like, everyone's completely silent.
Yeah.
It's such a weird thing.
It reminded me of those grenades from that Slave One had in Attack of the Clones.
Oh yeah, because all the sound was coming.
I was like, right, but it was a long silence, like to the point. I was like, it's a bit of fucker.
Kind of uncomfortable silence.
Then cool.
It was that long enough that it worked.
Yeah,
that was the brilliance of it. It's that uncomfortable silence. The thing, holy fuck.
Yeah,
that was so it kind of makes you feel like you're there.
Yeah. That's what they wanted. They wanted you to experience about that what she's just done.
Yeah.
But the only other two negatives I got, one I've just thought about. If Snoke admits he was the bridge between Rey and Kylo, surely, if that means he's in both their heads, surely he would have seen more of a conflict going on in Kylo's head to the point that he would have kept his guard up before that lightsaber cut him in two.
He's not as powerful as they're making out that he is.
Yeah.
He got killed quite easily, so...
Yeah, and he seemed powerful when he zapped him near the start of the film.
I feel like physically he's powerful, but he's not as mentally powerful as he thinks he is.
Yeah,
He's arrogant. It's the same as the Emperor. I mean, the Emperor was too arrogant. He was so arrogant in thinking that Vader was completely submissive that he didn't think that would ever happen.
Yeah, but you think he's learned from his mistakes. It depends who Snoke's
connection is. And just Snoke's thing, because I don't know whether he's got any affiliation with the Emperor.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Well,
there's rumours, but we don't know.
Even Luke mentioned Sidious, which was like, right, the only reason you know that's because there's books in the temple. Which, I don't know if you noticed, but we noticed. You know when Finn gets the blanket out for Rose, he took all the books.
All the books.
They haven't they didn't properly reference it to the audience. It was just kind of like if you haven't noticed.
And also another thing that you may or may not have noticed, little kid at the end just Force.
Yes, I noticed that. The broom.
Yeah, the broom.
Thank God someone else saw that.
I noticed that.
Because some people were saying, I saw online, what was the point of the ending? I said, well, the point of the ending is that it's that spark of rebellion thing that they're on about, that is like, if you can influence someone enough, they can be looking out and going, I want to be part of something bigger. And that's the point of it. So the reason they ended on that is because they inspired that kid with what they did to make you think there's something more out there, something more I can be a part of.
Yeah, that was that seems the spark of hope, but there's got to be a reference to the fact that this kid used the Force.
Yeah. So this kid again, but is he anyone?
Exactly, which is why it links back to Rey potentially actually being no one important.
Yeah, I think about it that way. It's all kind of, that's where it all links.
Like the Force is spreading or something.
Yeah, it basically means that you don't have to be like age. Basically, you don't have to be a Skywalker or Kenobi to actually be pretty good. You know?
You got to be a Windu or something like that.
A Windu,
So there was the connection, and what was the other thing that really fucked me up? Poe tried to take over the ship. And they were going, no. And then it revealed they had a plan at the end. Why didn't they just tell him the plan from the get-go? Then he wouldn't have tried
it. Because then the film would be shorter.
But he did, when they told him.
Yeah.
They were like, he's like, no, what we're going to do is going to cloak all the transports to the planet. Oh, that might work, was his line. If you told him that from the start, there wouldn't have been no mutiny, and Leia wouldn't have had to confuse the whole audience by blasting him across the ship.
I'll be honest, it wasn't a load of double-crossing and confusion and everything, it was, but...
Yeah.
What else are you going to get them doing on that ship?
Sitting around.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
just waiting. It's like you've got to have some kind of drama to it. I'm thinking of this purple chick. Is she double crossing on purpose? Is she a first order person? No, they just got conflicting ideas of how they should handle the situation.
There's one that looks like they're definitely not going with, but one character I still would like to see on the big screen. With what they've done with Luke, it's looking less and less likely that Mara Jade's going to appear on the big screen.
No, she's not.
Yeah, no.
I want to see a proper, not just a little glimpse that we saw in Phantom Menace, a proper thing with Aura Singh. Because I thought she was amazing. They did up the pale value.
Yeah.
She was a massive character in all the books and the comics and stuff, to the point that she's into that. When you think about it in Star Wars, you always think of the Fets or a few of those that were in Empire. But she was massive.
Yeah.
I was like, she could easily be a great character. You haven't seen any Hutts in this trilogy yet.
No.
Not that it's
to
a
be
bad
fair,
thing.
though, I mean, apart from Akbar and Clunge Cheeks, as I call them, Neon Dub.
Clunge Cheeks, yeah. You tell us we're wrong.
I told her that, I forgot. That's it, good night. Alice is done.
You've killed Alice. Oh, man. Yeah.
Right.
Apart from them, all the other aliens and that are all brand new anyway.
Yeah.
We haven't seen any Twi'leks or anything like that.
Akbar's dead. Akbar's
still out. Akbar's dead.
Yeah.
Like, that was so sudden.
That was it. I didn't like the whole Leia flying through space thing.
That was absolutely ridiculous.
I saw Connor shaking his head right in front of me.
Stupid.
Don't go to the cinema with Connor. I didn't go with him on purpose.
Sorry, Connor.
If you're listening, Connor, mate, you annoyed the fuck out of me. I'm sorry, but I was watching it for the second time. He happened to be in front of me, and every single time something didn't like, he was shaking his head and throwing his hand out like that. And then when he laughed, you know what Connor's laugh is like?
Connor.
Like that. And even he got shushed as well by somebody.
Oh, brilliant.
I'm sorry, mate. You need to shut up watching a film. Regardless of whether you're not agreeing with something, just be quiet.
Yeah.
Everyone else is there enjoying it as well.
Your opinions, darling. It's okay.
Just don't do it in the cinema. You know what I mean? The Leia thing when she, because I thought they killed her.
Oh,
I
was like, oh, that's nice.
And then they just passed over it quite quickly. I was like,
and then you saw her hand hand twitch and her eye open, and you think, oh, fucking hell, she's using the Force to like.
I kind of agree with you to a point that it is a little bit silly.
I think she looked like a bloody weeping angel from Doctor Who.
It did look a bit weird.
Yeah,
but the only reason I'm kind of letting it slide is because it was the first time we ever saw her actually using the Force.
Yeah.
At the time, it's literally like she's been like she can feel its presence or something like that. Apart from that, it's literally she actually used it, and I was just kind of like that. I'm letting it slide for that reason.
I would have been more comfortable. Like so that explosion, that pardon the pun, sucked everyone off of the ship. Yeah.
Back to our close cheeks.
If it was back to Clitlet.
Even like Dan messaged me when he saw Clunge Cheeks in the trailer. He sent me the picture of him going, "Clunge Cheeks is back, mate."
Oh man, the flapper. If it was just an explosion and she was like badly wounded, but you see her concentrate and use the Force to heal herself, they still could have done the whole coma thing. I would have bought it. But to me, she's had no, that we know of, fair enough, but no training whatsoever. Yes, she's a Skywalker, but no training. And to me, you get taken out into outer space with no protective gear. It's instant death. There's no
But again, it can
lifespan.
the Force, so you can survive longer.
But how? It's no training.
But it's the same thing of like it's the same thing of like Star-Lord hiding the Power Stone in Guardians of the Galaxy. He can do it because he's half Celestial. He doesn't know how to do it. He just did it because it's the same thing.
Yeah, that was a magic stone. They don't have a magic stone.
It's a magic stone that kills people the second they touch it.
Yeah, but they're probably going to explain that more in the other films. They're probably not going to explain what happened to Leia again. It was just like, she's Skywalker, she can do it.
Yeah, that's the. I think that's.
It's glossed over quite.
I don't think they.
You're not meant to fully understand the Force anyway. That's the whole point. It's not some kind of mystical. It's like Yoda. You don't want to know his origins.
Well, I was half expecting to the point. As soon as she started flying back to the ship, is they're going to start going na 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 na. No, Superman thing. Because that's what he's saying. That's what he's saying. Like eyes shut, frozen from space, so they're still going with the whole there's no air in space. Some old bat just flying by the window. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I do understand it.
I'm getting aggressive here.
Alright, was it like anything else that kind of stood out to you, Alice? Like good or bad, really? Apart from Clunge Cheeks, your favourite character.
Oh yeah, love.
He is now, anyway.
Cheeks.
No.
This is the thing. Like, this is why I need to see it again.
I think it's better the second time. If you just ignore the Phasma and the side mission thing, everything else is a little bit more fun.
I like the side mission thing. But again, if they told Poe the idea, Finn and Rose wouldn't have put themselves in danger for something.
I think I was just going into it expecting to have my questions answered.
And I think a lot of other people will, but I think the reason that Ryan didn't do that, Ryan didn't do that because if you give the fans what they expect all of the time, then everyone would think it's just meant to happen.
Yeah,
because a lot of people are just looking at Force Awakens almost a cop and retread of A New Hope. It's like, but we're giving you what you wanted.
That's me going into it as a fan, but looking at it from a film student's point of view.
Yeah, we got a student here.
Yeah. Fucking BA, bitches!
You can do Star Wars 10.
Yeah, I wish.
Can I be a stormtrooper? Just a foot. There, I exist there. That's me.
I want a bigger part.
I am. You can be Clunge Cheeks.
Yeah, cool. I'm fine with that.
But it's like Clunge Cheeks with long hair.
No, make me a penis alien so I can fit into it.
Oh my god. This is the Star Wars shit that you find on bloody Pornhub.
I'll be some purple head.
Clunge Cheeks and Knob Rock.
Knob helmet.
But anyway, from a film student's point of view, I think they were very clever in how they've done it.
They weren't, you say?
They were.
Oh, they were.
They
right.
were.
Questions will get answered, won't they? But
they've answered some, but created more.
Yeah, they want you to want more.
That's the one thing I like about it, is the fact that, we did get a couple of things answered, but we still got so many more questions. Because and some of the things we didn't get answers, we got those on top of it. It's just... And again, it's a very astute marketing ploy because it gets people wanting to see episode 9. So I've got all these questions I want answered, plus all these extra questions I want answered, and I want to see it. You don't need to worry about merchandise because people want those questions answered.
That's the difference with this trilogy to the original. This one, it was like off on the bat, like we're doing couple of 2 or 3 spin-offs and another trilogy. With the first ever Star Wars, it was like, we will do...
See how it goes.
Yeah, it was meant to be just that. If it was just that one-off, fine. The only question they left unanswered was, where did Vader go again? In Empire, there were so many left. Like, obviously, the full...
But I love Empire.
But Empire's number one as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. It's the best one.
The hand getting frozen.
I'm your father moment and the hand getting frozen.
That's
it leaves you going, well, I've got to see Return of the Jedi.
What happens?
Oh, no, what happens? Like, what happens to him and Luke? What happens about Han Solo? Does he survive? Does he die?
Yeah.
What's going on? You want to know. It's the same thing with this. It's like, well... What's going to happen about Snoke? Is Kylo Ren going to get redeemed? Is she really no one? You want to know what's going on.
I think she's no one. I'm just going to throw that out.
Yeah, I think she is.
But I think we'll see the return of Del Toro's character.
I
like the stuttering gangster.
He was like kind of the saving grace of that side mission bit that I didn't really like. I enjoyed him.
I liked him. And I kind of want to, even though it might again.
I didn't see that coming, though.
The double cross.
No, I didn't see
I kind of did.
We thought the woman would double cross, didn't we? From the
purple hair. Yeah, I thought maybe she
turned out to be the Lightspeed.
Yeah, with him, I was kind of like,
I
there might be a double cross because he's kind of like that outlaw character. He's in prison, is where they find him. So I'm like,
he's a smuggler scum.
Yeah, he's the kind of person
that was going to be the actual person that they went on the mission looking for.
But I thought that as well.
That was an absolute shame.
Yeah, I was a bit annoyed we didn't actually see the lapel guys.
Great, you're never going to fucking see him.
I suppose that's another thing that's annoying about the side mission is that it ended up being completely fucking pointless.
Yeah.
Because the thing they wanted to do, they got caught doing, and then they found out, oh no, we can do this instead.
And they didn't need to do it because I would just ask what the plan was.
So again, the film would have been shorter. It would have been an hour long, and then it would have been over. And we would have gone, what the fuck was that? That was 1 hour.
More questions!
One of the things
we're never happy as fans. We always
as a fanboy. I mean, 9. I'm not. Look, I've already said what I want to see from 9, but I'll probably be happy with what they do. It will sum everything up. But
one of the end of prequels, that's why I overthink.
Yeah.
Whenever it's not perfect, I always think that.
One of the things I want to see, just as maybe a little scene, just as a fanboy reference. I think Lando should make an appearance.
Yeah, Billy D. Williams isn't doing much. I'm surprised he hasn't made an appearance yet.
Maybe he's in.
I thought he might.
Yeah, but maybe they're saving it for 9 or something. Because...
he's going to be Finn's dad. Oh, why? Because
don't do that.
Oh, no, God, no, don't do it.
No.
It makes no sense. It's like, well, he's black and he's black, so let's make them dads and sons. No,
it
makes no sense.
That's just fucking racist.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
He's a grand descendant from Mace Windu.
I know Hollywood's fucking bad, but Jesus Christ.
Don't do that.
Do a shot, make him Jar Jar's kid.
Fucking hell.
Lando's like, Misa so glad to be in 9. Oh, yeah. Right, I think we've wrapped it up.
We've kind of said anything, unless anyone else has got any kind of issues or praises or anything like that.
Where do you think this can go?
I mean,
probably episode 9.
Yeah, I'm assuming so.
Yeah.
I think obviously we're going to get the conversation about Rey and Kylo because we didn't actually get them in a lightsaber fight. They were in a lightsaber fight together, but not against each other. And then the Luke and Kylo showdown wasn't a lightsaber fight at all, really. Yeah. So I think they're building up to a massive fight between the two of them.
See some fucking lightsabers.
That is, I think this is going to be one of the best lightsaber fights ever in episode 9. I think they're building up to that.
Yeah.
They're not giving you it all in episode 8, sorry. So that's a build-up. I think, Luke's coming back at some point.
Great.
I think in the moment where either Rey or Kylo is struggling at that moment is the moment he'll appear. I'm trying to think where story-wise where else he can go. I don't think we'll see a Fett. No, I think he's out of it. He's too old.
He's probably going to be in the Solo movie.
Yeah, being the Solo movie because we just assume that Fett is obviously dead since Return of the Jedi,
but we know he's not.
But a lot of people saying, "Oh no, he jetpacked out and he's alive." Which if he came back, I'll be fine with because they did it with Darth Maul and the Clone Wars and Rebels as well, and that worked perfectly for me. I think that was exactly what you should have done with him because he was such a great character in the saving grace of Fett and Phantom Menace. He was just binned off and not talked about. I'm so glad that they brought him back, had him a vendetta against Obi-Wan. And then in Rebels, he tries to go and find Luke, basically, and then Obi-Wan stops him, and that's the end of him. But I think they built his character really well in that.
Obviously, they've got all these new planets, which I'm cool with. It means they're very creative.
We need to go back to an old planet.
Either Tatooine or Naboo.
Tatooine.
Yeah, Tatooine, I think, is probably the best one. Because it's the first one we see.
Yeah.
It's such a big deal, because obviously it's where Anakin and Luke are both from.
Yeah.
So, you need... You need to have a planet that we've seen before.
They might go with Naboo, though, because like everyone said in Force Awakens, Jakku is very similar to Tatooine. So they've already got their own sand planet in this trilogy. Naboo, like, there was that whole thing, like, which I agree with, is instead of Naboo in Phantom Menace, it should have been Alderaan.
Yeah.
So when the Death Star blows it up...
Yeah, if you think about all the Naboo stuff, if you relabeled that Alderaan, second that's blown up in A New Hope, you are fucking...
You feel what happened.
You're so invested.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I've had a whole backstory on this planet.
I now know what's gone.
And it's just awful. But obviously you don't have that with A New Hope, because obviously Alderaan's just a planet that that Leia grew up on.
Yeah.
You see it briefly in Revenge of the Sith at the very end. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only
very,
thing.
very briefly.
Yeah, I think...
I think we've kind of covered most things.
Personally, I preferred it to Force Awakens. I don't know what you guys
preferred
think.
it. Right, okay, well, let's do like a star rating then. I mean, I'm just going to quickly go in and I'm sticking with the 5 that I gave it for mine. It's still
what?
A 5 out of 5.
Right, okay.
It's still the best film I've seen all year. It's still the most fun I've had in the cinema. Yes, it does have its problems, but overall, I left happy and wanting more. So...
Yeah, I'll go with 4.5.
You go for 4.5?
Yeah. I'm going to have to go with a 4.
You go for 4?
I'm going for 4.
Well, that's more than I thought you were going to give it. I thought you were going to go for 3.
Well, I gave it a solid 7 out of 10 in my 10 ratings.
Yeah.
But 4 out of 5.
That's
I mean, I'll forgive it anything because it's Star Wars.
That's the thing. It's like unless it is literally a Phantom Menace type bad.
If it's the next one's called Star Wars Episode 9, The Return of Jar Jar Binks, I'm done.
Yeah. I know.
That's when I
if that Darth Jar Jar theory comes to light, I'm going to fucking find the person that came up with it.
See, I nearly went with 4 purely because I thought the film, even though I enjoyed every minute of it, probably didn't need to be as long as it was.
Yeah,
you could have shaved about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. If you made like all the battle scenes and the ships and whatnot, if they were shorter,
and if the side mission was shaved by about 10 minutes,
or not in there at all,
or if you're going to do it, just make it so quick. Like they're there for like 5 minutes, and that's it.
That's it. I think then the length of it would have been.
Yeah. This is why I have a problem with Peter Jackson's thing. Everyone's so forgiving with his Lord of the Rings and Hobbit stuff. So, well, the films are long.
Don't get me wrong, the films are fucking long, but I love them.
Yeah, but King Kong sucked.
Yeah, it did.
Because it took him an hour to get to the island.
Yeah, it took so long.
It's like, the length doesn't mean better.
But the problem is, I'm not as invested in the characters of King Kong as I am as Lord of the Rings, because those characters are so likeable and lovable and fleshed out. Especially when you've read the books as well. You just love and know them.
Let's not go on to a different session.
So 4, 4.5 and 5.
Yeah. 5 I say for like my all-time favourites like Hacksaw Ridge and the Green Mile and stuff. It isn't an all-time favourite, but it's up there.
Well, I think I named it as a 5 just because...
Because of Star Wars.
Yeah. That's the thing, it's difficult because we're so biased. But we're trying to be as critical as we can, but we don't want to be.
I think we've been very critical.
Yeah.
But still said... It's a good
Give
film.
it a good rating.
Yeah. If someone said, shall I go and see it? I would say, yeah, go see it.
Yeah, go see it.
So I think it's worth the price ticket. That's the main thing that we should say, because cinemas are quite expensive these days. There's no two ways about it. It is quite an expensive experience. But if it's something you come out of and you say to someone, yeah, definitely pay your money and go see it, then it's worth it. They've done the job right. If that's the option you're coming out with.
It was easier to go through the negatives because I think we've covered most, if not all of them, which says everything else about the film is amazing. Yeah. So, and there isn't, when you really look at it, there isn't that many negatives.
No, they're just small things. It's not like there's a massive plot hole or there's a massive character change where you go, well, that's ruined the entire saga. You know, there's nothing like that.
It's either I would have done that a little bit differently, or that was
I think it's down to personal choice.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah,
everyone has their own opinion.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's why we do this.
Yeah, there's probably some people out there listening to this. I hope.
We hope too.
That thought the casino thing was a good thing.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it. I thought it was alright. I mean, and if you're listening thinking, why haven't they mentioned Spock yet, then fuck you. wrong podcast, mate.
You mentioned Punch Cheeks.
Yeah.
Cheeks, yeah.
He's like the superhero.
If he ends up being a hero 9, then I'm done.
He's the one that makes the epic sacrifice. I will literally look down and see Alice just pissing herself out. There's this little giggling thing in the corner. I can't breathe.
There's got to be a Lando and him
moment.
Union, yeah. So they can shout yeehaw at the Falcon again. So there you go. Right, I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that's it. So that's our spoiler review done for it. We will be back for Han Solo. I really hope we will. Anyway.
Yeah,
and I'm kind of hoping by then I'll probably have my house, so I'm hoping we can do it like we did last time.
Yes. If it ain't Solo, we'll be back for 9.
Yeah.
And you'll definitely have a house by then.
Yes.
I pray to God.
Yeah, I was going to say, I am having a house.
Mad.
I am having the house before the end of the year. I'm not turning 30 living in my mum's house. It's not happening. I'm not doing it.
No offence, Sam.
If you're listening, he loves you.
Yeah, we love you, man. All right.
Me and Josh will be back soon for our usual regular podcast. And then, Alice, you'll probably see in
I'll see you in another 2 years, guys.
And, well, look out for the Operation Guillotine. Find that.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. I'm doing a plug for you.
Thanks. Our single's released on Friday.
There you go. So go and find them.
I've got nothing more to add. No.
Bye! Bye!